Hey, Danny, thanks for stopping and talking with me a little bit about the product. One of the challenges I've had is, we just get a lot of these questions. We think they're myths, but really wanted to talk with you and make sure that we're doing the right thing when we're talking to users.
Awesome.
So one of the major questions we get is just about the TPMS sensor and is that going to damage it? Can we actually use balancing beads, ABC balancing beads in that type of situation?
100% compatible, never an issue whatsoever. ABC balancing bead, it's not free flowing, meaning when a vehicle comes to rest, everything falls down to the bottom. Ours has an electrostatic charge between the glass and the rubber, so it literally stabilizes against the rubber. So if you go from 60 miles an hour to 10 miles an hour rapidly, any other internal balancer would sandblast essentially the TPMS. But with the electrostatic, which is unique in the marketplace, holding it and stabilizing it in place, not an issue, never been an issue. Millions of applications, never been an issue.
Now, even when you're injecting them, or does the application change a little bit?
If you're injecting through the valve stem, you cannot have a TPMS. There's two types of TPMS, but your best bet is just if you have TPMS, you are not going to inject it through the valve stem. If it does not, feel free. You can inject it right through. You don't need to dismount the tire and wheel from the vehicle. You can do it right on the vehicle in less than 5 minutes.
And I think you kind of alluded to our second question a little bit, but some folks seem to think that it's really only at freeway speeds or at moving speeds that the tires balance. But I think you kind of alluded to something in what you were explaining about they stay in place.
Well, yeah, the inertia process. It doesn't matter what you have in your tire, whether it's ceramic beads, antifreeze, plastic beads, glass beads, compounds, even the balance rings that go on. When you hit speeds of, say, 45 miles an hour in a straight line, the process of inertia moves everything in the opposite direction to the opposite side of the heavy spot, smoothing out your ride. It does not matter what it is. The difference in the uniqueness is the tempered glass beads create an electrostatic charge, like rubbing a balloon on your head and sticking it to a wall.
Oh, okay.
So that's what happens on the interior of the tire. So all others are free-flowing. ABC balancing beads is not. It'll keep you balanced for the life of the tire at all speeds. So we do a lot of business commercially with school buses, coach buses, mainly school buses. I bring up because when they're going along a residential street, they're not exceeding more than about 15 miles an hour. Any other internal balancing method will not work in that application, but ABC.
Cool. And actually, that's also a similar question, just about clumping and is that an issue with balancing beads and specifically ABCs?
No, not at all. Our tempered glass beads are coated with silicone, so that's going to repel moisture, number one. Number two, they're coated to make them perfectly spherical as well. So there's no imperfections. If you were to take a tempered glass bead and blow it up the size of the moon, you'd see imperfections with craters. So when we coat them, it makes them perfectly spherical, so no moisture can get in or crack down or break down the bead or anything like that. So did that answer your question?
That did.
All right.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Two more questions that I think, and let's see. Warranty, right? That's a huge question that we get just from folks. Is this going to void my warranty? Either for the tire, for the vehicle, anything that we should be communicating with our folks on?
No, it does not avoid the warranty whatsoever because it does no damage on the inside. It's not going to do damage like ceramic would say do damage or take little pieces of rubber off the inside of the tire. With the TMC, which is the Technology Maintenance Council, is the arm of the American Trucking Association, and it clearly states in their book of recommended practices, tire and wheel manufacturers recommend balancing. It's up to the equipment owner to decide which, because there's several different balancing methods out there, but it's up to the equipment owner to decide what best suits their purpose. But that's tire and wheel manufacturers. We're talking Michelin, Goodyear, Toyo, Continental, the wheel makers of Alcoa, Accuride. Everybody voted unanimously.
Okay. So this is actually supported by the industry.
Yeah.
And no issues with that.
Yeah, 100%.
And then final question, actually final two questions. What's the investment, for a shop, so that we can actually use this instead of our traditional balancing methods?
The investment is minimal. You don't have to, you're not buying any expensive tire changing equipment. You're not stocking wheel weights. You don't have to have a huge inventory. The investment is really very little, and very little, like nothing.
That's fantastic. And I think we mentioned, like this is an application that will work for semis and the bigger vehicles, correct?
Yeah, from semis to motorcycles, trailers, tractor trailers, anything with an up and down motion. Now, passenger cars we've shied away from, not that it doesn't work in a passenger car. If you're telling me that you've got a 2005 Toyota Corolla that's got Goodyear tires on it and 150,000 miles, I'm saying put it in all day long. However, a 2020 Lexus with a cushion ride that may have other components to cushion the vibration, you need the vibration, you need a stiffer suspension. So antique cars, classic cars, motorcycles, trailers, tractor trailers, Jeeps with lift kits, anything with pickup trucks. It's basically from pickup trucks all the way up.
Perfect.
And the uniqueness, you had mentioned something earlier on, the uniqueness in the marketplace is the electrostatic holding it in place. All other methods, it does not matter. 45 miles an hour in a straight line. ABC, complete axle, complete wheel end balancing for the life of the tire. There's just nothing better.
Fantastic.
I guarantee
Just
it.
like the balloon sticks up there.
Rub the balloon on your head and stick it on. You got it.
Awesome. Thanks for answering those questions. It's going to be really helpful.